This cell phone provider won't work for me. Not my story, but my father's, takes place probably 20 or so years ago in Midwestern US. At the time of this story, my father had his cell phone plan with the V network, not sure if company names are allowed, but whatever, you probably know who I'm talking about. He chose that provider because he lived in a rural area and at the time that was the only mobile provider that worked for him. He researched this, as best as his low-tech redneck mind could handle. This was the only viable option. My father has been in sales for most of his working life, specifically insurance sales. He is darn good at it, makes sure the client is taken care of the right way, the way he would want to be taken care of. He also is the kind of guy that doesn't care where you are on a company's organization chart, he'll tell you exactly how it is with wanton disregard. If he's wrong, he'll admit it. But if he's right about something, he'll make extra sure you know about it. The bean counters at Insurance Co. he worked for decided they would provide him with a business cell phone, but with a different provider than the V company. He called his boss and said this probably isn't a good idea, it'll be in roaming where I live and it'll cost a ton in roaming charges. Side note, remember roaming back in the day? Boss says nope, company knows best, use this new phone. Pop says sure thing, boss man. MC hammer time, so he gets new phone. Uses it exactly 1 month's billing cycle. Uses it for all calls, business calls, personal calls, random calls to make a reservation at a restaurant, everything, use the company phone. Instead of the company paying around $50 or whatever it was for his phone plan, because of roaming in his area as he said it would, the cost of his phone bill was somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,400. Boss calls him on his personal phone and says put the company phone down, shut it off, don't touch it again unless it's to put it in a box. We're overnighting you a new phone on the V network and you will send the other phone back to us. My dad, in his ever so smart-ass way, said next time, maybe pay attention to the guy who knows how it is. His moral every time he tells this story is that education does not always mean the same thing as intelligence.